Welcome to Bloomington Today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kaylin Cockrell. This winter, snow has been on everyone's mind, and with record snowfalls in the city of Bloomington totaling 76.5 inches so far this year, cleanup is a major issue. Public Works wants residents to be aware of a crucial change they've made in the last few years that has improved several areas of snow removal.
Take a pail of sand and put it on your garage floor, and then go running at it and see how much traction you get.
This concept, presented at a Public Works conference, sparked an idea, ultimately helping city maintenance crews develop a more efficient way to clear roads after a winter storm. This new system has eliminated the use of sand and now solely relies on salt and other chemicals to pre-treat roadways before a snowfall. But why the change?
Sand has no melting properties. All it's going to do is provide just limited traction at the time until it's displaced off of the street. And then you're right, in the spring, all it involves is extra cleanup, extra sweeping costs, which then flows into our storm sewers, which have to be cleaned, into our ponds, which have to be cleaned and dredged out, and just creates extra cost. So the equivalent of buying salt and other de-icers to remove the ice, even though it essentially costs more up front, in the long-term whole picture, it costs less because of the cleanup costs that are reduced.
Rather than attack the frozen roadways during or after a snowfall, Bloomington city workers are out preparing the streets before the first flake has even fallen.
About 48 hours of when a snowfall was going to occur, we would go and anti-ice all the main arterial streets in town with either a salt brine, other chemical additives to get salt down ahead of time so it doesn't allow ice to bond down to the pavement.
Eliminating the use of sand has made road cleanup in the spring a fraction of the project it used to be.
I still recycle sweepings every year. It used to take 8 to 10 weeks, maybe 3, 4, 5,000 yards. Now it takes like 2 weeks, and we're lucky to get a couple hundred yards of usable stuff back out of it.
Cutting cost and impacting the environment as little as possible when it comes to snow cleanup is a plus for city crews. But keeping area drivers safe is a must.
The safety of the response time between when you put the product down to when the street is safe to drive on is just night and day. Night and day.
And be sure to tune in to next week's Bloomington Today, where we'll be on scene as crews prepare Bloomington streets for the next winter storm using pre-treating anti-icing system talked about today. And although the outdoor rinks around the city are seeing their last days, the Bloomington Ice Garden is in full swing, adding new skate school sessions and gearing up for a show you won't want to miss. Ballet jumps, one-foot spins, and crossovers are all things you'll see as skaters lace up and take to the rinks at the Bloomington Ice Garden. The 2011 skating season is an exciting one. In March, the 33rd annual Bloomington Ice Show will make its debut.
Our upcoming show is called Dance Party 2011. So it's kind of like a dance party on ice for all the kids that are in the show. It is March 18th and 19th. So Friday night we have a 7 o'clock showing. Saturday we have a 2 p.m. and a 7 p.m. showing.
This year's ice show features skaters from a variety of skill levels, from toddlers who recently got into skates for the first time to 21-year-olds who have been recognized on a national level. One thing Jelinski points out, between the city's group lessons and the private Bloomington Skate Club lessons, there's something for everyone.
We have everything from the very beginner, never skated before, whether you're 3 years old or, 18 years old or 50 years old. We have, very beginners in all different ages. And they can go through the very highest levels that U.S. Figure Skating offers through our program.
Bloomington Ice Garden is doing its best to meet the demands of residents and is now offering an additional session in the summer. Beyond the added convenience, the people involved are hopefully taking much more from the experience.
The kids have a great time because they get to meet kids from all over the city. And we also pull in people from the surrounding communities. We have actually a lot of people that come in from different communities, so it's kind of nice to bring in different people into Bloomington and see what we have. And the Ice Garden is a great facility. We're really lucky here. We have 3 sheets of ice and it's run perfectly.
And for residents who aren't necessarily interested in figure skating, there are other year-round lesson options for you as well. Bloomington Ice Garden offers hockey camps and skills camps, as well as speed skating classes. For more information on what the Ice Garden has to offer, prices, and show schedules, visit the city's website. And Bloomington Public Health Division's statewide health improvement program, or SHIP, is giving the city yet another incentive to begin living and eating healthier. Public Health will provide grants for new and extended community gardens in Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield.
Nonprofits, businesses, churches, apartment dwellings, so pretty broad on who could qualify. And if you're interested in starting up a community garden, we have startup funds available, and we would like to fund up to 7 community gardens in those 3 cities. And it's up to $2,000, so that's more than enough funds to start a community garden.
And if starting up a community garden doesn't quite fit your needs, don't forget,
the city of Bloomington also has garden plots that people can rent. So if starting up a community garden is not for you, the city also has garden plots available at the Smith Park site and also at the Harrison Park site, which is right across from Civic Plaza.
The SHIP program is providing the garden startup grants in an effort to improve the availability of fresh fruits and vegetables for residents. Eating more of these foods is proven to help decrease chronic disease risk factors as well as counteract obesity. One guideline, the gardens must be sustainable for up to 3 years or more. In the application, which is available online right now on the city's website, you must describe how you plan to sustain the garden. And once on the city's page, just keyword search community garden for full details, guidelines, and the application itself. Now it's time for a short break. When we return, we'll chat with a few people about the 16th annual Taste of Chocolate.
Was that my exit? There you are, ma'am, all done.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Thanks again.
Everyday emergency workers, as well as maintenance crews, construction crews, and first drivers work on busy roadways. And every day they're at risk of being killed.
On multi-lane highways, please move over 1 lane. Our lives depend on you.
Welcome back to Bloomington Today. We are now joined by Susan Anderson, Taste of Chocolate event co-chair. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Kaylin. Thanks.
Good. Thank you for being here. Now, there's an event coming up on March 13th. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Great. It's the 16th annual Taste of Chocolate, which is sponsored by the Bloomington Fine Arts Council. It's a big fundraising event. It's delicious, and it's lots and lots of fun.
Great.
It's right here at the Bloomington Center for the Arts, City Hall, Civic Plaza, on Sunday afternoon from noon to 5.
Okay. What kind of events will be going on at this year's Taste of Chocolate?
Well, the yummiest part, of course, are the 13 pastry chefs and chocolatiers who are going to be here offering tastes of their newest creations in chocolate. And we're actually going to have 15 tastes because 2 of them are bringing both what we call a confection or candy truffle type of thing and a dessert. So the chocolatiers will be here. There will be performances by arts organizations. There's a big silent auction. We have almost 200 items. And we have a grand raffle. with several wonderful things on the raffle. So you'll be busy all afternoon.
Well, that sounds like it. Tell us a little bit, what are the costs to attend an event like this? This is a fundraiser, so there are costs involved.
It is indeed. We have a two-tiered cost program. Our general admission allows you in from 1 to 5 p.m. It's $25 in advance, $30 at the door. You get these 15 tastes of chocolate. You get to go to the silent auction and all those things. At an enhanced price, we have an early admission from noon to 1. That's $35. And part of that early admission, especially for the foodies out there, Mary Leonard of Chocolate Celeste, who's internationally well known, is going to be giving a keynote address in the council chambers called All Chocolate is Not Equal. Everything you want to know about chocolate. Mary Leonard is going to give us information. But you can only hear that if you buy the early admission ticket. So it's $35 for the whole day or $25 for the whole day.
Okay. So who stands to benefit from the proceeds that are raised after the 16th annual Taste of Chocolate?
Well, there are 4 arts organizations who have come together to put this on. There's Angelica Cantanti, which is the Children's Youth Choirs of Bloomington, 200 kids who participate in 4 different choirs. Notable Singers, which is a women's show choir, and they go out and do free concerts at nursing homes and other venues. Bloomington Chorale, which is a 50-member classical chorus, and they do concerts here at the center, and they do more difficult, more classical choral music, such as the requiems and the masses and all of that, along with other music. And then Continental Ballet Company, which is Bloomington's professional ballet company and school, and it benefits their programs of all those organizations. And then it also helps with the administration of the Bloomington Fine Arts Council, because we have some expenses too.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the importance there is when it comes to funding the arts. Why is it important to have an event like this to benefit several of our arts groups in Bloomington?
Sure. Statistically, arts programming fees, ticket fees, usually only cover about 50% of the cost of producing an arts program, because there's all sorts of costs that you don't see. Even if the performers are volunteers, you still have advertising, you still have the cost of props, they'll have staff, you have to pay your staff, and so there's just not enough money out there coming across the ticket office, the box office, to pay for the cost of putting on arts programming. And that's why most arts organizations have development directors that go out and do grant writing and fundraising and do special fundraising events such as this. And also it gives them a lot of more exposure in the community, so more people become acquainted with those arts organizations because they've come to this event and seen them perform.
Absolutely. Well, this is the 16th annual Taste of Chocolate. What do you think has kept people coming back year after year?
Well, first and foremost, it's the chocolate. And we always add new chocolatiers every year, and we have old favorites coming back. And the old favorites are bringing new things. So, chocolate's a really popular thing. And so people, and it's also in the winter afternoon. It's a good thing to do on a Sunday afternoon in March. You can't even watch the hockey tournaments because they don't play on Sundays. So something to do before the weather gets nice and the grass gets green.
Oh yes, very much. Well, I have to ask, what is a chocolatier?
What is a chocolatier? That's the name we give to anybody who participates with us. So it could be a pastry chef, they could work in a restaurant, they could work in a bakery, such as the woman that you're going to meet today later on. They could be somebody who makes truffles and sells them online. We have some people who don't even have shops, some do, and some do all their selling online. So the whole chocolate industry is changing, the retail part of it is changing. And so we're getting lots of young, new chefs who are coming out of the culinary programs and starting their own businesses doing truffles and things.
Wonderful. Well, great. Well, above and beyond, taste testing and things like that. This is the competition as well, isn't it, for the chefs?
You bet. It's the only competition around in the Midwest, upper part of the Midwest, for chefs. And we have 3 prizes. We have the best chocolate dessert, the best chocolate confection, that's what we call the candy type things, and then there's the People's Choice, where people who come get to vote on which chocolate item they think is the best. And so the chocolatiers really covet that award because that says the people liked it. Now, you have the best chocolate dessert. We have 3 professional judges who come from the culinary programs. Amy Carter, who's the head of the culinary program at Art Institutes International, Minnesota. Larry Fisher from the St. Paul College culinary program. And Sarah Rice, who's a food blogger for City Pages. And they have a very strict criteria, and it's all a blind judging. They don't know who's submitted what. And so it's a very prestigious honor to be named the best dessert or best confection. Absolutely. And all they get out of it is a trophy and the glory of being the best. Absolutely. And we give them a nice little trophy and a pat on the back and say thanks. We hope you'll come back next year.
Wonderful. Well, great. It's making me hungry. Well, we're going to take a short break here, and when we come back, pastry chef Darcia Nunes joins us. Stay with us.
Every day is a brand new journey of discovery for your baby. And when that journey is by car, the Latch system will help keep them safe. Anchor, tether, latch. It's easier and makes your car seat secure. So your baby's journeys will be safe and sure. To learn more, visit safercar.gov.
Welcome back, everyone. We are now joined by pastry chef Darcia Nunes. Welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't we just jump right into it? Tell us a little bit about what you do for a living.
I'm a pastry chef. I have been working at Pastry Margot in Edina. We have also another store in Excelsior, Minnesota, for the past 2.5 years. We are a French-style pastry shop. It's a lot of fun, a lot of work, and it has been a great opportunity.
Great. Mm-hmm. So tell me how many years you have been participating in the Taste of Chocolate.
This will be my 3rd year.
Your 3rd year, okay. So some of the awards that Susan had mentioned, there are 3 that are given out to chocolatiers every year. Have you ever been the recipient of one of those?
Yes. In fact, our first year we got the best chocolate dessert, and last year we got the best chocolate dessert and People's Choice.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, that's very neat. And we do have today on set your chocolate sculpture. And I'd love for you to talk a little bit about what goes into making something like this.
Sure.
What amount of time?
You know, this sculpture was created for an event at the Minnesota History Center in October. It stayed there for about a month. It starts first on the paper. I came up with different ideas and drawings, and think about colors and shapes and the theme. From there on, I worked on and off between things that work for about a week. But I would think if I had to condensate the amount of work, it would probably take a full day, probably 8 hours of work to do so.
And now, explain to people, this is all chocolate.
It's all chocolate, yeah. We have mostly milk chocolate around here, some white chocolate on the flowers and in the fruit. This is actually the cacao fruit, so that's what the chocolate comes from. And we have an open fruit here with the seeds. The granites is also chocolate, a sugar cane. The theme of the sculpture is tropical. That's the title. So I want to represent different things on the tropicals, and that's where the cacao fruit comes from.
Absolutely. You've obviously spent a great deal of time working something like this to get it to the point that it's at right now. Why does your organization choose to get involved with something like this? Is it the pure sense of competition and, or kind of what's the reasoning behind that?
I think people's feedback, it's very rewarding to inspire people, and I like to think that way, that throughout our work we can help people to develop the taste buds and think about different flavor combinations and educate people about food. I would think that that's probably the most important part of the taste of chocolate, I'd say.
Absolutely. Well, in your opinion, a little bit different than someone kind of organizing the event, what should motivate residents to get out and stop by on March 13th and visit you guys?
It's a great event. It really is. 13 pastry chefs, everybody put a lot of thought into everything that they bring. They'll get the chance to taste different flavor combinations with chocolate. It's yummy, everything. There are a lot of things going on all day long. We are there to answer questions, to talk to people, about any question they have, any question food related, So if they make some recipe at home, something doesn't work out, bring the question to us and we're there to help.
Wonderful. Well, if I wasn't hungry before, I sure am now. Well, great. We'd like to thank Darcia Nunez for being here with us today. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Chevy Checker. A new twist in the law makes it easier than ever to save on your Medicare prescription drug plan costs. So what are you waiting for? Go to socialsecurity.gov and apply for extra help. It's easier than learning the twist.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, even though it's not quite spring yet, city officials want to remind Bloomington residents that it's never too early to start your spring cleaning. The annual citywide curbside cleanup is right around the corner, and that means it's time to take a look in your basement, garage, or yard and dispose of bulky waste that wouldn't typically be taken by your weekly garbage pickup. The city will be divided into 5 collection sections. Each area will have a specific Saturday that rubbish will be hauled away. On Saturday, April 9th, items will be hauled from Normandale Boulevard to the western boundary of Bloomington. April 16th is France Avenue to Normandale. April 23rd, it will be Penn Avenue to France Avenue. April 30th, Portland to Penn Avenue. And finally, on May 7th, the eastern boundary to Portland Avenue will have items picked up. City officials ask that you set materials out on the curb before 7 a.m. on your pickup day. Avoid putting items out any earlier if possible. Residents who want to participate must pay the annual cost of $20.28. To verify that you qualify, look for the code SW, meaning solid waste, on your water or utility bill. If you live in an apartment or a townhome, contact your management to see if they pay for the service. For a complete list of items accepted in the citywide curbside cleanup or to see a map of the 5 collection sections, we encourage you to visit the city's website at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. Well, the American Public Works Association is honoring one of Bloomington's own. In a recent city council meeting, city park keeper Jim Hoffman was presented the award for 2011 Maintenance Worker of the Year. He joined the park maintenance section of Public Works 9 years ago, and after being promoted in 2007 to park keeper, he's now in charge of the youth athletic complex and overseeing turf maintenance of the 13 irrigated fields throughout the city. In Hoffman's nomination letter, he was called, quote, a true professional and the best of the best. This isn't the first time Bloomington Public Works has been honored with the Maintenance Person of the Year award. Park Maintenance Supervisor Dave Hansen was the award recipient back when he was on the park's maintenance crews. Way to go, Public Works. Thanks for keeping Bloomington Parks looking great. Well, with the new year comes the time to file your tax returns. The Bloomington Human Services Division is partnering with Accountability Minnesota and is offering free tax assistance through April 14th to residents who meet income guidelines and is offered to individuals who make $30,000 or less and families that make $50,000 or less. To take advantage of the tax preparation services, visit Creekside Community Center, located at 9801 Penn Avenue South, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30, and on Saturdays from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Be sure to visit the city's website for more details. The Bloomington Police Force would like to extend a big thank you to all residents and city employees alike for all contributions made to help fundraise for the 2011 Polar Plunge. On February 17th, members of the Bloomington Police Force took the plunge into Prior Lake. Of the 6 law enforcement agencies that participated in that particular plunge, Bloomington was the top fundraiser.
There are 45 law enforcement agencies that signed up for the team challenge. Of the 45, Bloomington is in first place. We've raised $7,896 to date. And the other people, there's really nobody close to us that hasn't jumped yet. So the jumping will continue through March 12th, but I really think that we're going to finish first. And actually, if somebody were to beat us, the one nice thing about that is that simply raises more money for Special Olympics.
Jumps will continue until March 12th. Be sure to tune in to Bloomington Today, where we'll give you the final results for the 2011 Polar Plunge fundraising campaign. Again, thank you to everyone who contributed to this great cause. Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you'd like more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. We'll do you even one better. Sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent to your email or cell phone. This is Bloomington Today, a presentation of the City of Bloomington's Communications Division. I'm Kaylin Cockerill. Thanks so much for joining us.